Hi everyone, Jane Maloney here, and today I'm going to share my process for two of my layouts for my December daily album. So in my last December daily video, I shared these two pages, and I also shared my sketchbook that I've been using. This is a sketchbook that the creative design team and I put out this year. It's 46 6x8 sketches, and it has been invaluable. So today I'm going to be using this one first, and it's actually sort of the guideline that I did for this page. So I did a 6x8 page here, and then this is two 4x6 pocket page. And so on the back of that, I had planned to put these two photos, and I ended up reprinting this one. I decided that I wanted that to be at 4x6 because I wanted to show more of the puzzle box. We were putting together this Christmas puzzle that I had just gotten when I was shopping with my daughter that day. So I pulled in some pocket cards. I'm going to keep this page very simple, and since she's wearing bright pink, I brought in this Jingle Joy collection because it does have the non-traditional Christmas colors with a lot of pink. So I was thinking that following this sketch, I'm going to have the photo on this side and some journaling over here. And so I could put that over there. The sketch calls to actually trim this down and have it matted, but I'm not sure yet if I'm going to do that. So let me just try this. I think I actually would want the scallops going like this, and then maybe matting it on the pink. I could do that. Add a little pink mat there. And then I was even considering using my gold or silver paint pen to do my journaling right on here, because this is kind of like lines. But then I saw this pocket card and I really liked the way that that looked. I liked the dark background with the pink and bringing in more of that green. I think I might still mat this on the pink, but then I want a separation, a border, and this dark green would fit the bill. So I think I'm going to trim that down and add a little border there. I'll trim my photo down, and then I'm going to use my favorite journal strip stickers for the journaling. Since I do have a dark background, these work great because I can just write my journaling on the strip here and then cut them down to the lengths that I need. So let's go ahead and do this, and then I'm going to put together a second page for you as well. I decided that I did want to mat my photo in that pink card, and the nice thing about the pocket cards, they can be used for so many different things. As you can see, I'm not using the greeting or the sentiment that's on there at all. I'm just using it as my mat. I have a lot of these cards still, and I seem to collect these pocket cards, but I just love them and I use them for so many things. It turns out these particular pocket cards that I used, along with the scrapbooking kit and some of the other products from this line, are in the Boxing Week sale that Close to My Heart has had all week. Today is actually the very last day of the sale, so if you're watching this video the day that I'm publishing, head over to my website. I'll have it linked down in the description below, and see all the sale items. These are 50% off. The whole core catalog is 25% off, and then there's a whole bunch of other retired product, really good retired product, that is 50% off. It's a really great deal. So like I said, these cards and some of the items from that collection, plus a bunch more stuff, is in the sale. So back to the layout, I'm actually cutting down my pocket card to get this green color. You can totally just use cardstock if you wanted, but I had these pocket cards handy, so figured might as well. And then I laid that down and I thought, you know what, I think I want a skinnier piece. And then I also decided that I wanted to bring in a little bit of gold. So I had some gold glitter paper laying on my desk, and I cut a very skinny strip of that and put that right between the pink and the green. And I liked the way that looked. I'm using gold throughout this album, and then you can see that number 3 that I'm going to add for my day is in gold too, so I wanted to incorporate a little more of that. So my numbers that I'm using throughout this album that you see there are from the Moxie alphabet, which is my very favorite alphabet and die set right now. I've used it a ton on scrapbook layouts as well. It is a stamp and coordinating die. So I stamped it in Versamark ink and embossed it with a gold glitter embossing powder, and then onto the black cardstock, and then die cut it out. So the black cardstock makes that really awesome black border around the stamped and embossed image, which I just really liked that look. Some of my friends were doing their numbers like this, so I got that idea, I think from Janice, and I think Julie did some too, and I just thought it looked really pretty. So I'm digging out some sprigs from this little bin of die cuts that I have. If you watched one of my previous videos where I showed my organization for December Daily, this is one of the little bins that I put some of my die cuts in that I had left over from making cards, and it's worked out perfectly because when I just need a couple little sprigs like this, then it's nice to just grab in there and not have to die cut something special. I decided that I wasn't quite sure I wanted all of that gold, so I'm going to trim one of those sprigs off. This is from the Christmas Story card making kit, which is sold out. I knew it would sell out. It was just such a fabulous kit with these wonderful sprigs, and I've used them so much, and I will probably use them throughout this album because they're just so nice to just tuck in behind things. Decided I didn't want that green piece. I didn't want any more green because there's not much green in my photos. I like just the black and gold, so I'm going to go with that. It sort of matches the three. That black doesn't show up real well, but it adds some nice texture. So I'm doing my journaling on my favorite journal strip stickers. I use these a lot in my 12 by 12 scrapbooking as well. And I love that you can just write as much as you want right across that sticker and then trim it to size. So I'm going to snip these to the sizes that I want to fit across my card there. And I'm just kind of putting them next to the card before I stick them down because I want to make sure that I've got enough space for them and I have them spaced properly. So I'm putting them there on my Versamat so I can easily peel them up once I'm done. So I'm sort of like holding them over the card, making sure that I have it at the right width, snipping it and setting it down. And those last couple pieces are going to be shorter because those sprigs kind of impede into this space. And so I need some shorter pieces for those last couple of lines. And I'm not going to show you my whole process putting them down. They're just stickers, so you just need to stick them down, but my head was in the way most of the time. So now I'm going to commit and glue these down. I'm liking the way that everything is looking, and I'm just putting a little bit of my glue at the tips of these sprigs so that they still can have a little bit of dimension sticking up at the ends. Of course, they'll be in my little pocket page protectors, so they're not going to really have a whole lot of dimension, but you know, that just means you need even less glue because they are behind the page protectors. I actually considered doing this project outside of a page protector like Allie Edwards does, but decided that since my kids like to look through these albums, it's probably best that I don't have them outside a page protector. They still need to be protected for the time being at the ages that my kids are at, which is totally fine because I love that they look through my albums. So here's a look at that card, and I will show you it again at the end of this video. But now I'm going to start on my second layout, and I'm doing a full 6x8 page again. I'm really enjoying doing the 6x8 size, and you'll see with this layout, I actually fit a lot onto it. I probably should have trimmed my photos a little bit smaller. I used the photos the sizes that it called for in the sketch, but I decided to double mat them, so it ended up being a little bit bigger, but that's okay. It all fits. It's amazing how much you can fit on a small little 6x8 page. I'm testing out the background pattern papers I wanted to use. Decided not to go with that toffee one because I didn't want the background as warm as that. My daughter's wearing a gray sweatshirt, so I thought maybe that light gray would look good. And then I ended up trying this tree one. I thought originally it would be too busy, but I ended up really liking it. So I'm gonna go with this one. And a lot of that background is getting covered up anyway with the photos and the embellishments. These little strips on the top and bottom kind of anchor the whole thing. They are called for in the design for that small 1/4 inch piece to go on top of the wider piece, but I decided to just put them on top and below each other so you can see the full strip. And I wanted to be able to see that full buffalo check pattern because that is just one of my favorite patterns. I love it. And I didn't even plan it, but it happens to match my photo perfectly, where my daughter is holding her pan up, which is now covered underneath the red right there. So that picture where she's holding the pan, my oven mitts are the black and white buffalo check. So it ended up working out perfectly. And I just love black and white with a pop of color. Black and white with red is just one of my all-time favorite combos. It's so pretty. So here I am in my little die cut bin, again, pulling out some pieces that I thought might work. I had some of these red glitter snowflakes left over from my Christmas cards. I used those on my photo Christmas cards, which I did a share of all the Christmas cards that I made, including my family photo Christmas cards that we send to our family and close friends. So I will link to that below as well if you want to check it out. So I had a few of those snowflakes that worked out perfectly. And then the numbers, so you can see here I skipped to story 11. So I've skipped 4 through 10 in my album and just jumped to 11 because I was really inspired by these photos. We had so much fun making gingerbread man shaped pizzas. I bought these trays on Amazon, and they were perfect for making pizzas. So we made some pizza dough, we formed them in the pan, and the kids got to make their own little pizzas. They just thought it was the greatest thing ever. So if you have kids that would enjoy something like this, I highly recommend doing it. And also, I originally only bought one pan, and it was a lot smaller than I expected it to be, and so I ended up having to buy another one so they could each do their own. So just, keep that in mind if you think you might do it. They were only about $10 each, so I figure, we made pizzas twice this year already. We'll get lots of use out of it for pizzas and anything else we want to make in years to come as well. So I think it was a good investment. I'll link that pan down below if you're interested in purchasing it for next year. So anyways, just playing with these die cuts, I wanted to have another extra little die cut and a pop of green behind the numbers. So I had these poinsettia dies in my bin. I didn't have any of the red parts of the poinsettia left, but I had the leaves cut in green still. First tried the green glitter paper, and it was just a little bit too much glitter. I know that's really crazy for me to say because I love glitter, but it was too much glitter. So then tried the cardstock version, and I did like that better. But then I just wasn't sure about the color. I really wanted the brighter evergreen color like in this pattern paper that I'm using. So I thought, well, I'll use this snowflake punch to punch it out because that would be a lot faster than using a die cut, but it was too small. I wanted a little more emphasis, so I'm bringing out this die set again, and I'm going to cut out several sprigs in that pattern paper, and this is what I ended up going with. I liked that. And then I added 3 of those little sprigs here behind the numbers, tucked behind that snowflake. And then I liked it so much that I decided to add 1 sprig behind each of the other snowflakes as well, so that there's more emphasis with more green around the number, and then just a little bit of green around the other ones. I just was having a hard time having green only behind that cluster because I like having all of my clusters having all of the same colors represented to help draw your eye around the page. And I know that this page is a lot smaller and you probably don't need it. You're still gonna, see all of the photos, but I just liked when you add that, it really helped your eye kind of flow down to the right and then down to the left again. So I just like that flow with my clusters having all of the same colors represented. And then I decided to add a little bit of black into each of these little clusters as well. I used the biggest sprig up behind the numbers and then those other smaller sprigs behind each of the other clusters, and just for that extra little pop of black. I love how I managed to get so much on this page, and it's really thanks to that sketch to jump off with, because I probably wouldn't have tried to put 3 photos on a 6x8 page, but it totally works. I'm going to get everything glued down and then give you a close-up of how this turned out. If you have been inspired by this video, then please give it a thumbs up so YouTube knows that you have enjoyed it. And let me pull in that original sketch so you can see I stayed very close to it. If you're interested in the sketchbook, it is still available and I'll link it below. You could use it for Christmas, for weddings, for babies, anything that you might use for a 6x8 album. If you'd like to see more December daily inspiration, click this video that's on screen right now, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Thanks for watching and have a great day.